All right, so just wanted to update you on some things that I wanted to see your feedback, with your experience with, being in martial arts schools and what you think, what your feedback and your opinion on like a good way to manage and run a school. I think it's very difficult to do that, like to run a martial arts school, to manage a martial arts school, and to keep it like alive and representing like good qualities, good values,
right?
Like maintaining integrity and like representing what the martial arts should be representing, and then at the same time paying the bills and taking care of business,
Right.
So I'm gonna try not to use names, but you probably know you know who I'm talking, like people I'm talking about. But it's just like there's somebody that's been here for a while, for about 2 years, progressed very well, but we had like in a way, kind of like some drama going on, some disagreements, and some things that gets me to reflect on the path of this school and the decisions that I make,
Right.
But he was basically, one of the issues was that he's kind of upset about the ranking not being here anymore, really. Like, he really wanted that type of ranking structure and how there's goals for him to achieve and something to aim for. And he was like more motivated. And then now, since it's gone, he's kind of, lost his motivation. He doesn't really, like, he's just not as motivated anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that's the drawback. But everybody else that I'm training, they have no problems, really. Everybody's fine. They don't, it doesn't even matter for them. I mean, it's been like a benefit to everybody else that have been trained. They've been enjoying the training. Even Bang, I talked to him about the ranking. Even he said that he doesn't really care for it anymore. He just wants to train as good,
Yeah, that's good. At one time, he was really hurting himself to get to the rank.
Yeah. And my thing is, it's just like one of the main issues that I saw, the problem with the rank is the renege of the rank. It's really difficult to implement. It's kind of like having it's almost like it's kind of like having a marriage and then a divorce. Like the renege of the rank is almost like marriage, and then the renege of the rank is like a divorce. And the way that I see it is like if there's gonna be a renege that people can't handle, it's better off to just not have it at all.
Yeah.
And I think that he kind of like lacked like a motivation, and it was hard for me to, I think the school is hard to motivate people in the martial arts when you don't have some rank, or if you don't have like some like competition, fighting or whatever to motivate them with trophies and stuff like that. So it becomes a struggle to retain people that want to work hard for the martial arts and then not have something to like give them externally in return or something like that. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, it's tough. Like, I can see where, he might be coming from, because when he started, all of that ranking and all that structure was in place, eh? And so, maybe he got attached to it, or maybe it was part of what appealed to him to begin with, is that kind of the structure and having those goals out there to work toward. I mean, one thing I think there was, let me see. There should be a way to, some kind of a way to motivate people to progress without having to have the rank, because you're right, when you have that, like what you had set up required the renege of the rank. If somebody's not living up to the standards, then they're no longer representing that rank. So there has to be a renege system, or there would have to be, with the kind of with the representation of FMK that you were looking for in that rank. I mean, why even have a rank system if it doesn't accurately reflect a representation of the school and the standards for each of those ranks? But people aren't used to having a renege, because everywhere else in the culture, when you get a license or you get a certificate or you get a degree or you get a diploma or you get whatever kind of, like, you earn whatever, people look at it not as like a temporary thing, but something they earned, like a trophy, okay? And and they're not used to having to give up a trophy, right? So yeah, when you would ask people, to give back the rank, that would cause some serious, like, emotional problems for them, because it is kind of like they took it very personally, instead of looking at it like, all right, here's a challenge, I got to get back up to whatever the standard is. But I don't know, like myself personally, like I've said all along, I think from what I've seen in the other martial arts schools I've been involved in, the rank just seems to set up obstacles for people really achieving a high standard. If somebody's gonna really excel and develop themselves to their highest potential, I think they're gonna do it with or without the rank. And other than that, the rank just kind of is an ego booster for people, and it's usually a false ego booster, because it usually is it's usually just kind of bought from the school. Somebody puts in their time, takes the test, whatever, and earns the rank. And maybe it was a little bit better with the FMK rank, because you actually had to make those standards, like for the red rank, for instance. But then it's very easy to fall back from those standards. So that's the fatal flaw, and the fact that it's just helping inflate people's egos to give them rank. I think it's much more healthy if people can learn to enjoy the training without the rank, just in the same way, people go to the gym and you don't get a rank in the gym. There's no belts. There's no special award.
Yeah.
It's what you can do and what you've built, and it shows on your body, And in the martial arts, it should be the same way. It should show in what you can actually do, and forget about the rank stuff. That's my opinion. But I can see where somebody, who was like, that was their main motivation to start off with, where that threw a monkey wrench, in what they were doing to take that away from them. So I would consider trying to figure out some other kind of motivating system besides rank. Something that, like, for instance, the Kuhn records was pretty good. It was pretty good, except that then everybody's competing against everybody else, and you like to get everybody represented on the Kuhn records board, but it's probably not going to happen. And there's going to be some real dominant people and some non-dominant people and stuff, and some people aren't even going to make it on the board. So that won't be a motivative factor for everybody. But if, like, one idea is going back to the red rank fitness stuff, like, I found that the red rank fitness stuff very motivating, and I still do it. Like, I still got a fitness record that I keep on my phone of my bests and stuff, and every year I'm trying to beat that best in each of those things, plus a whole bunch of others that I've added that weren't on that, just to try to improve myself. If I would think if there's some way to develop some system where people can showcase their improvement, to kind of like put it out there that they've accomplished something, then that would help motivate people, because they can work toward that thing that they can show. But it doesn't have to be rank. Okay? It can be something else. It can be something. It could be as as easy as like giving everybody a some kind of a page on the web page to show off their how they're progressing in whatever exercises or whatever techniques or whatever is important for them. I'm just kind of like spitting out whatever comes to mind, hey. But I do empathize with people that like they need something to help motivate them, and they're used to having a really strong structure. How can we like move them delicately into having no structure and just enjoying the training, without having them just completely lose interest? It's a good question. I'll put some more thought to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the problem, but one of the bigger issues is like the artistic and creative expression that I value, especially with what I have online. It's merged too closely to the direct training that it's affecting the people that I train, certain people, and that is becoming a problem, so, and my like unwillingness to sacrifice my creative expression online to basically, essentially it's boiling down to this. Like, some people actually want me to like shut down the YouTube channel, for example. Like, shut down the YouTube channel and just train the people directly, so then there's nothing for them to like get upset about of what I say, or something that I say that might be misrepresenting like what they feel. And then like I say something that they don't like, and then they don't feel proud of being a part of this school or whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah.
And that becomes one of the biggest issues, that is a huge like this is a big thing that really, the way that I feel about it, the rank doesn't motivate me, the videos motivate me. Like that's my motivation. Like,
yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. The videos are a way for you to showcase your own progression in both, in fitness, in martial arts, in flexibility, in philosophy. You can showcase your progression there, and so that's a motivator. To have that YouTube channel. It's crazy to give that up, because that is, that's where you can show what you're, how you're improving and how you're developing and that kind of thing.
See, it's almost like what he was kind of implying was that he doesn't want me to speak. Like, just do the tricks or do the fitness and just don't speak, so then I don't get anybody upset. So then the school's not frowned upon, and there's not negative energy floating around the internet that makes him feel like upset. And that's one of the main things, that the biggest issues that we had. And this is not the first time. There's other people that I've trained where they felt that way. And it's just
Right.
like, you know, he's stating like how it's hurting my business and stuff like that. But it's like, this thing started off with me, like, it was never about the business at the beginning. It was just about my love for what I do. And then now that it's getting to this point where there's certain people that's been here for a while, and then they're trying to, stop me from with my creativity, that really upsets me. You know, as far as like, I can't do that. So then it's almost like I'd rather shut down the martial arts and just do like fitness training as a business and keep my YouTube channel alive, or the YouTube channel alive, than to shut down the YouTube channel or censor my expression in order to make the people that I'm trained directly like satisfied. Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's ultimately it's not fair for any of us to ask you to not say whatever on the YouTube channel. It's like, I think what Todai FMK needs to understand is that the creativity and the artistry is highly valued in all of these different areas, including philosophy, including mind and spirit training. And so it needs to be practiced, and it's being practiced on the YouTube channel, and it's a developing thing. Like, what you say this year is not what you're going to say like 3 years down the road, right? Or 10 years down the road, or whatever. What appears on the YouTube channel is like the current state of where everybody's at, or whoever's participating, at least in the YouTube channel. And, like, for instance, between you and me, we don't share all the exact same philosophies and stuff and all the exact same thoughts about everything, but I would never think to tell you, you shouldn't say those things. What I do, if there's something that I feel like, I don't want to be represented that way, is that I would just make a video myself telling my perspective and put my video on there.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be criticizing anybody, don't have to be, I don't have to be like, it's not like, it doesn't have to be against anybody or anything like that. It can just be, I want to represent myself and my philosophy, so I'm going to put that on there. And that's what the YouTube channel is for, is that artistic expression. And so, what I would recommend is maybe he needs to get into the YouTube channel and start putting his perspectives on there.
But I talked to him about that. He's not interested in that. He was more focused on, a lot of the conversation was, a lot of it was focused on me and like what he was basically didn't like about the negativity and the aggression that I had on there and stuff like that. And it's just like that was like kind of like that's one of the main reasons why I felt the rank had to be abolished, because I don't want to live up to my have to feel like I have to because basically I don't like the idea of me having, the students having to reach up to my expectations, and then if they don't, then I get upset at them, and then vice versa when it turns onto me like that. I don't like that either.
Right.
Especially when it comes to like the spiritual, because we're so different. Like we're born different, and we different environments and different life experiences and different cultural backgrounds. Like,
right.
How could somebody that never really experienced racism tell me how to respond to a racist situation? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like people, like when it comes to the spirit, is so complex that like that really becomes very difficult to basically to implement any type of judgment onto other people.
Right.
It becomes very difficult because it's like when you're trying to put upon your values onto other people, like it gets very, very like tense, and it could get very like heated and very like emotional. But if you stick to the business aspect of like just fitness training and just combat, it's more cut and dry and simple. Like, you don't got this kick down right, let me show you how to do it. But when you're like critiquing somebody's spiritual development, they can always in the back of my mind, who are you to judge? I'm older than you. I know more than you. I have a degree. You don't have a degree. Or like, look at you. You're not living up to a high standard spiritually. Why should I listen to you? And that's kind of what I feel that's going on right now, and I don't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I highly value my ability to be creative. Now the only reason that I would censor myself is based on YouTube's guidelines.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're not allowed to do this or do that, or we're gonna remove the video. You're not allowed to put like yourself up there naked, so we're gonna take that down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you living up to YouTube standards. But when a student's coming to me and saying, hey, I don't like that you're being too aggressive with that video, and then Jenny's calling me, oh, I don't like that video because you're talking about women, or my father saying, why are you talking bad about these people? And then the next student, hey, I don't like that, I don't like this video either. So then the 10,000 videos shoots all the way down to 500 or like 200 because there's so many people that don't like what I have to say. There's bound to be at least one person. It's like pretty much uploading a video, and as soon as one person clicks dislike, I immediately delete the video. That's kind of how I feel. It's like, if that's going to be the case, then I might as well not even upload any videos at all. And that's kind of what, like, is very aggravating, especially when it's coming from people that I've trained for a while. Like, I would think they would understand, but then they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's like, it's frustrating. And yeah, I mean, I don't see any immediate resolution because I'm the one who's gonna do what I'm gonna do. Now, if these people, they don't like that, then they pretty much end up having to be like, well, then I won't train there anymore. Because it's like somebody that walks in through the door and then he doesn't like the way my mats look. Oh, it's a little bit too dirty, so I want to train somewhere else. Or your facility is a little bit too small. I don't like that. I'm going to go somewhere else. Or your prices are too high. I'm going to go somewhere else. Or, like, I just can't, I just don't like always having to, like, serve other people and make other people happy. Like, I've learned my enlightenment I consider myself enlightened was when I decided to just do my thing and be myself. And unfortunately, there's people that don't like who I am. But then there's people that do like who I am. And that's just what it is.
Right.
But it's, this guy's kind of like saying, I like this part of you, but I don't like that part of you. So the part that I don't like, I don't want you to express it because it doesn't make me look good and it doesn't make you look good. That's pretty much what he was saying.
I don't mean to laugh, but, because I know what he's talking about, because I get that kind of, I personally get people messaging me or writing to me on my videos, and asking me, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that with FMK? Why don't you just do your own thing and this kind of stuff? And, I get people criticizing all the time, and I tell, I have a list, and I say, this is why I'm in FMK. Bang, 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 bang. And I say, I might not agree with everything Freddie has to say, but, these are the reasons that I'm in FMK, and, you know, when you're in a relationship with somebody anyway, especially if it's a close relationship, you're not gonna like everything the other person does. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a marriage, there's could be things about your spouse that like drive you crazy, and you're not gonna be able to change them. You know, you may fight over, you know, you want them to change this or that, but if it's you know, really it's just that's who they are, then you're not gonna be able to change them. And you know, really, I respect people that stick with a relationship and respect that people are different, and that you just got to learn to live with the differences. And you know, why are you in it to begin with, right? Are you in it because of this thing that you got a complaint about, or are you in it for some other reason? Because you know, usually the thing that they're complaining about is just peripheral. You know, it's not a really important thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I get what, you know, he's saying, because there is a lot of criticism of FMK.
Hold on, let me get this. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you need? What? What did I do? Who can hear you?